Yo, what is up, guys? Welcome back to today's video. Today I'm going to be reacting to three true ding-dong ditch horror stories by Mr. Nightmare. It feels like forever since Mr. Nightmare uploaded, even though it's only been a week since like his stranded stories or middle of nowhere horror stories. I haven't reacted to his videos in a while, and I enjoyed reacting to his videos. I think the last one I reacted to was the doorbell thing. Like, it was like video doorbell horror stories, or it wasn't really stories, it was more of like footage from scary events and doorbell cams and stuff. I don't know, it might have been after that, but it's been a while since I reacted to him, a couple months. It feels like a while since I've seen his videos, even though it hasn't been. Yeah, I thought I'd keep the streak going of like an upload a day. We're cruising with subscribers, cruising with views. I appreciate it. We just hit 100,000 views on that Road to Shaw video I made, the little compilation I made. Even though it wasn't my content, I still feel so much accomplishment from that video to get it like to over 100,000 views. That's a dream of mine I never thought I'd accomplish. 135,000 views actually right now. I've been keeping track with everything and I'm so thankful for it. But yeah, keep it coming in, keep it going. I appreciate it all. But yeah, let's jump right onto this video. Let's go. Hopefully my dogs don't bark. His sound effects are so on point. Mr. Nightmare's the best.
One questionable activity my old friends and I would partake in when we were young was Ding Dong Ditch, where you run up to someone's door, knock or ring the bell, then run away or hide. We do it from time to time when we were feeling mischievous or bored. At the time, someone moved across the street from my friend Stefan, who lived a block down from me. He kept telling us how sketchy it seemed. No one would ever see them leave their house. The blinds were always closed at every window, and there were never any lights on. Yet there
That's
was
how
always
you
a
don't
red
ding dong
Toyota
ditch,
pickup truck in the
motherfucker.
driveway all hours of the day. No one really seemed to know who was living there or what they looked like.
That's how you don't ding dong ditch. Little heads up.
Idea to target it while we were out ding dong ditching. My friend Jake and I hid behind a nearby car while Stefan ran up to the door. We could tell he rang the bell like 5 times, and we chuckled because of it. He finally ran for cover in a bush separating that property from the neighboring property. We waited for the door to open, but alas, it never did. So Stefan ran back to the door and rang it a bunch more times, probably closer to like 10 rings this time. As he ran for his same hiding spot, I noticed the curtains to one of the front windows move a little bit.
Oh,
I didn't
shit.
see
You've
anyone's
been
face,
caught.
but that confirmed someone was inside the house.
They're probably just
The
watching
door
you.
never opened, but Jake and I were afraid to yell over to him not to do it again. Stefan never looked over at us, so he never even gave us a chance to wave at him to stop there.
Oh,
We waited
no,
half
he's
a minute
fucked.
before going back to the door. But I swear, before he could even ring the bell, the door pulled open, and all Jake and I saw was someone's arm reach out from the house to grab Stefan. He screamed a high-pitched scream like a girl. Jake and I looked at each other with horrified looks on our faces.
Motherfucker, I would
Stefan
too.
managed to break free from the grip, and continued screaming as he ran past us across the street to his house. The front door to the house slammed shut. No one came out chasing after us. We followed Stefan to his house, and as soon as we got inside, I told him that was a horrible idea. Now that person would know they were neighbors. He said he didn't
Oh,
care.
yeah.
He told his parents about it, who at first were mad at us, but sounded a bit concerned after some explaining about the aggressive way the man inside the house tried pulling him in.
Oh yeah, I'd be
Still,
fucking
we
mad
know
too.
his
You
parents
fucking
wanted to
idiot
come
trying to
knock on the door,
encourage a serial
considering
killer
we
to
were
yank
ding-dong
you
ditching
into their
after all.
fucking house.
Jake went home. I stayed over Stefan's house to sleep over.
Smart idea.
His parents always complained about us being too loud.
Can't leave the
after they went to
rapist
sleep.
with
So we hung out
one
in his
person in the
backyard.
house.
We were playing Pokemon on our DSs.
Oh my god. Like it's like every time I react to this, my reactions are like people like I don't know if people would think they're funny. I sometimes think it's funny how stupid these people are. Like, it's idiotic sometimes the things these people do. Like, these guys are like, yeah, we just escaped a fucking rapist to try to pull us into our house. And then we're like, yeah, our parents didn't like how loud we got, so we chilled in the backyard, you know? And then we slept on the grass with our butts hanging out of our pants. Like, the fuck are you guys doing?
A while and talked more about what happened across the street. He said he didn't see much of the man's face, and he was pretty well hidden behind the door, but he could tell it was a man by his veiny hands and strength.
Oh, yeah.
The man grabbed him by the collar of his shirt, so Stefan was able to free himself from the man's grip pretty easily. At some point
He's
while
trying
in
to
the
choke you
yard,
out.
I remember hearing a thump kind of noise. But I didn't even feel like it was worth bringing up to Stefan. I just made a mental note of it, and maybe he did too, who knows. Eventually it got too chilly to sit outside anymore, and we were getting a little tired, so we went back inside.
There
We
you go.
noticed it was a lot chillier on the first floor than it had been before we went outside.
He's
Stefan
in there.
realized why fairly quickly.
He's in the
The
room.
sliding dining room window was open all the way, and a breeze of cold air was pouring in. But his parents definitely didn't open that. Something wasn't right.
This dude's fucked.
There was the sound of a footstep or something falling on the carpeted floor above us, in Stefan's room. It set him off screaming for his parents. The house has a very open layout, so of course they heard him and came rushing out of their room, confused and worried as hell. We pointed at the open window, then said someone's in his room upstairs. His dad ran downstairs to grab the biggest kitchen knife they had and ran back upstairs as we all waited in fear for something to happen upstairs. His mom...
You gave the guy too much time to leave. He might have jumped out a window. He could have hid. Like, you gave this guy too many options. You can't be yelling and shit. You hear someone up there, you be as quiet as you possibly can. Go get the parents. And, like, don't try to be the hero in this situation. Go try to find your parents so the parents can be the ones that die. I'm just kidding. But go get your parents and, like, be quiet about it. Don't be screaming all over the place. Like, oh my god, there's a killer in my room. Because he knows he's caught, so he'd leave.
hugged us and tried to comfort us while she called the police. Stefan's dad started to scream. Not like a scared scream or a scream out of pain, but more so an angry scream. We waited downstairs until the cops showed up, and they went up to Stefan's room. What actually happened is so disturbing.
I want
As
to hear
anyone
this.
could guess, the break-in point was the window. Stefan's dad checked his son's room and heard something in the closet. Upon opening it, someone tried to lunge at him, but he immediately got one good stab in the person. What we found out minutes later was that it was the neighbor from across the street. How we knew was because Stefan instantly recognized the white sleeves he was wearing and the scabs on his hand. The man was as scary looking as we imagined. Stefan's family got a restraining order against the man and refused to live across the street from him any longer. They moved within a few months to a house in the same town.
I don't know what's more stupid. The fact you want to ding dong ditch so much that you're gonna like fucking almost get raped. The fact that you're yelling across your house to your dad to tell her there's someone in your room, basically letting him know you know he's there. Or the fact that when you know you're caught, you hide in the closet. That's like the number one spot anybody would hide. So that's the number one spot you look. That's dumb. Story number 2.
This is a story that happened a few days ago. My friends and I really like to do some crazy things such as ding dong ditching, which is what we were doing on Friday night. I'll refer to my friends as C, B, E, A, and Ben. There was this one corner house on an opening to a cult.
The fuck? Let me refer to my friends as the alphabet and then Ben. Ben's just chilling by himself. We hate Ben. Ben's a fucking idiot.
The sack. My friend E said I should ring the bell. So I did it because I was not the kind of person to not do something just because I might get in trouble for it. So I walked up to the stoop and knocked on the door and ran.
That's not a good logic.
We ran maybe 3 houses down behind a car so we could still get a good view of the house we just did. The guy came outside, walked around, and I think spotted either myself, E, or Ben. So he screamed hey at us, and we ran like normal if this happened. We all laughed it off like we usually would. Then we all agreed like a bunch of idiots that we would do the same house again. So we walked around the street to the
Idiots
house.
that
and we all
redo
debated
the
who
house.
should ring.
You did it.
I
You got the
didn't,
joke.
because I
Fuck
just did,
off.
like, the last 3 houses. So we all agreed Ben should do it. So there went Ben up to the door, knocked, and ran. C, B, and A were on the corner of the street along with Ben after he rang, while me and E were behind a car right across the street from the house. It was like he was waiting right at the door, because only about 5 seconds after Ben rang the bell, he came sprinting outside. He got to the bottom of his driveway and screamed, "Hey, come here. Come here now." That was my cue to run.
Perfect.
So I sprinted as fast as I could to the corner and around the block. I kept on sprinting until I caught up to Ben, C, A, and B. We had walked about the whole street gathering.
I can't
our
keep up
thoughts
with these
when
alphabet
A pointed
names,
out that
motherfucker.
He was missing. We all looked at each other, obviously very worried for him. We
Oh,
called
shit.
him and he
He got
picked up
caught.
out of breath and was demanding us to go back to the house because he was chasing him. So we went about halfway down the street, still on the phone with E, and then he dropped the bomb. The man had a gun. We knew this because E said he heard the man scream, "I'm gonna blow your fucking brains out."
Okay.
She began to tear up, and we were all very worried for E. After about 5 minutes of E telling us to go back to the house, we made it to A's backyard and waited for E to make it back. He was saying he was very close.
Don't tell me he's
so
dead.
We walked out of the backyard.
Don't tell me he
and there
died.
He was.
Oh, thank
We
God.
all hugged him and were so grateful he was okay. We all went to A's backyard afterwards to talk about what happened. The first thing E said was that he got the whole thing on video, so he showed us.
Hey, come here now! Come here now! Come here!
That is unreal. They actually have footage.
So what happened that I was completely unaware of was that when I ran away from behind the car, the man started chasing me. Then E apparently got up and ran the opposite way, kind of putting the man in a pickle as to who he wanted to go after. He chose E, and he ran from him almost all the way down the street before hiding under a car until he felt it was safe to run back. This was the most insane night of my life, and I couldn't thank E enough, because if it weren't for him, who knows what that guy would have done to me if he had caught up.
Bro, those kids look like they're 13 too. Oh my God. Now, like, you could tell, like, he says these stories are true, like, they're true stories. Well, you don't know how true they are. Some people might just put them on Reddit or something, because, like, that's where I'm pretty sure that's where he picks them off. If you look up horror stories and go on Reddit, I've seen a couple on there that, like, I've heard from this guy, but apparently these are true stories. Like, it was funny because, like, the first 2 months I watched this guy, I thought these were all his stories, and I was like, man, this guy fucking sucks at life. He moved a lot. I was like, I was an idiot. But, yeah, I think all these are from Reddit or something. And, like, when there's, like, video or picture proof, it's unreal. Like, there was some Snapchat horror story I seen where he was, like, this guy, I gave him my Snapchat in the gym because I just wanted him to fuck off. And then, like, he kept saying, talk to me, answer me, answer me. And then he goes, answer me, bitch, and sent him a picture of his house. And, like, he put that in the video, an actual picture of his house. It's unreal to actually see how real these things are. Like, that was unreal to see. Story number 3, let's go.
I was a very sheltered child, and I didn't really start going out until college, really. High school, I kind of never really went out much. So when the opportunity to do something slightly rebellious came about, I would jump on it.
Right here.
My cousin Rob was infinitely cooler than me and hang out with me in my days before college. He'd always be down to go out and get into trouble. There was this one time he called me and told me to meet him at his house. We'd be going ding-dong ditching. I brought along my flashlight just because it was dark and there weren't many streetlights in my old neighborhood.
I brought along my
He also brought
flashlight,
along
my
2
cargo
walkie-talkies and
shorts,
handed me one.
my fucking walkie-talkies.
Houses were also a little further between than your typical suburb. Rob led the way down the road, yelling things, hitting stop signs with his hands. He always had a lot more energy than me. We veered off the street and cut through some trees onto someone's property. There was nothing but a single walkway lamp on. No lights on inside or outside the house. Rob told me to run around back and wait for his signal to ring the backyard bell. He was trying to make the homeowner run back and forth, not knowing where to go. He tested the walkie-talkies and they were all good. I waited in the backyard of this property.
That's a
It was
creepy
extremely
looking,
dark
like,
and quiet back
building.
there. To be honest, I was really scared. Rob gave the go-ahead to ring right after he rang the bell a bunch of times. I rang it twice, then ran for cover behind a bush. I waited in that bush and walkie-talkied Rob, seeing if anyone had come out front. Negative. I told him it was looking the same in the back. After a minute, he told me to go to the back door. I looked into the huge back window to see if I could see inside. There was this tall-looking piece of furniture right in front of the window, and there was this red flashing light in one corner of the room. That was about all I could see. Rob rang the
Is that
bell
a
bunch
camera?
of times again. I heard it from where I
Taxidermy
was
human
crouching.
being? That's one of these
Not
stories
sure.
too, bro.
I rang
Don't
the
think
bell
it can't
a couple
happen.
times, which, yes, had a different sound, so you could distinguish the two. I ran back to my bush and waited again. Rob said over the walkie-talkie that nothing was happening. It was the same on my end. Why wasn't anyone answering? But I did think I could see something moving from inside the window, though. Something small. I told Rob over the walkie-talkie. He said I should just check it out with my flashlight. So, trying to be cool,
That's dumb as shit.
I flicked on the light as I got closer to the back window. And when the light shone through the window, it revealed that tall object on the other side of the window wasn't a piece of furniture. It was some creepy-looking, smiling man. And the thing I saw moving was his waving hand. He walked away from the window at an unsettlingly quick speed and arrived at the back door. He opened it and started approaching me with this horrific speed-walking kind of pace.
What
As
the
he was
fuck?
asking me to come inside.
Karen walks over
I
here.
dropped the walkie-talkie and screamed and ran for Rob. He met me in the
You
front
dropped
of
the
the house.
walkie-talkie,
I saw the man
idiot,
from
the
back
fuck?
quickly approaching the two of us in the same speed-walking pace. What made it even worse
Says
was he
Michael
didn't say
Myers in your
anything
ass.
else. We ran back to Rob's house, whose parents were already asleep. We were catching our breath in his basement when the beep of the walkie-talkie went off. There was a breathing from the other walkie-talkie, and an old man's voice whispering, "Where are you kids? I'm not gonna hurt you, I just want to give you your walkie-talkie." The fact that the frequency was reaching us in a basement meant he was close. That was the scariest part.
You shut that
He
shit
turned
off.
off the walkie-talkie out of
There you go.
and turned off all the lights. In case you're thinking this was some sweet, innocent man trying to be nice, there's no chance. He was literally chasing us.
I
And he had
mean,
this look about him that screamed child predator.
no
We
shit.
were
You
young,
ding dong
but we were
ditch's
definitely
house.
smart enough to realize he may have been.
If
after
that was
us
like the
because of
actual
our age.
basement, I would have hid right under them
We
steps.
never told our parents though, because they would have grounded us just for going out ding dong ditching. It was just a disturbing memory we'd have to deal with. We were lucky we got away okay though.
Yeah. We'll just go to therapy. We'll tell our parents we went to therapy for something else. Alright, those stories were pretty alright. I mean, number 2 was something else. Like, with the video attached onto it, that's the shit I like right there. True shit. But yeah, shout out to Mr. Nightmare. I think he's the best in the game when it comes to scary stories. I mean, I got a recommendation to check out more Nightmare Files. I actually watch his videos too. I like his videos. I will do more reactions to those. I'll stick to the Mr. Nightmare reactions as well. But yeah, I really respect Mr. Nightmare, what he does, like how he has the audio in there, like this creepy music in the background. He does it very well, like high production shit right there. I really appreciate it. Really good content. Shout out to Mr. Nightmare. Link to the original video will be in the description below. Make sure you guys like, subscribe, and peace.
Mr. Sandman, bring me